Hello, Barbara.
Hello there.
I'm not quite sure whether, I think I got in first because I'm logged in. I think I'm the host.
I think you are. That's all right.
That's okay. Well, that's fine. And we're going to let Dawn in. We seem to be recording.
Right.
It's fine. Hi, Dawn.
Hello.
How are you doing? Oops, can't hear you.
Hi,
You're muted.
Hi, Barbara. How
Hi
are you?
there.
Hey, nice to be here.
Yeah, great. Right. I've no idea how many people are coming tonight.
Okay.
We will just see. Ruth put out a reminder on Facebook, to which there were a few little responses, and
Yeah, I was a bit anal and asked for a Zoom and password. It's only because before I get into Zoom, I have to go to email to get into a password, to get into email, to get the link to.
oh yeah.
With just a link, it's just my computer's very slow.
Oh, I
And
see.
something with a password and ID is just easier.
Right.
Anyway, I'm here now.
Yeah, well, certainly, because I'm hosting, I'm logged in, but also I thought, oh, well, maybe Barbara's started it already. I'll just go in the normal way. So I looked at the e-news and clicked on the link there, which took me straight in.
The Facebook link takes you straight in too, actually, without needing a password.
I mean, that's great because my Facebook's not linked to my PC, so I have to go into a separate thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, it's just me,
Yeah.
it's time management. And
Great. Okay. And here is Hannah. This is good. So this is nice. Some faithful people.
Absolutely.
Very good. It's nice. Yeah. Hello, Hannah.
Hello.
Hi. Oops,
Hi.
you're muted. Yeah. Right. Now then, I am going to try and be clever, because I know that, no, we don't. I know that we've been talking about who's going to do what for Shiatsu Awareness Month, and I know that Hannah has put something in the members Zoom. Here we go. See more. There we go. Okay. Right. Good. So that's fine. Good to see you, Barbara. Yeah. So we'll give people another couple of minutes just to come in. So how have things been, Hannah? Last time we saw you, you were thinking about getting some people together in your area. You're muted, my dear. Do you want to unmute yourself? No.
Can you unmute her?
I will see if I can. Participants. Yes. Okay. Oh, now I have to ask you to unmute. It says.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. Jolly fine. Very good. Yeah. So what have you been up to? Because last time we spoke to you, you were trying to get together some people for a kind of a support meeting in your area.
Yes, that's correct. So this week on Friday, we have one meeting near Wimbledon in one house. Someone is hosting it.
Right.
And yeah, so there will not be many members, just I think it will be 6 of us. So I was thinking to make it bigger, but in fact, at the moment we still, because we do it in a houses, we hosting home, so we don't want to make it so public at the moment.
Yeah, sure, of course.
But
I think 6 is a pretty impressive number, actually.
yeah. Yeah, well, we are not there yet. So on Friday, some people might drop. So
You never know.
But yes, so
Yeah.
that's what I do regular. So every third month, I would say we meet.
Mm-hmm.
And in different houses at the moment. But yeah, my aim was to organize it bigger and so we're in the hall or something like that and make it public and invite more people, obviously.
Yeah.
But not there yet.
Great. I'm just looking on the website as we're talking about to see what we've got in the way of resources for Shiatsu Awareness Month. And not marketing. Here we go. Marketing. There we go. There we go. If I've got that up on my desktop, then it means that I could share screen if I was very clever. Oops. There we are. Good. Goody good. Okay. So shall we? It's kind of 6 minutes past. I'm not sure what else, who else might be coming in. Right. So
I know we had apologies, didn't we, from Hannah McKay?
Got apologies from Hannah McKay, and I have on my other PC here, I have got up her what she's planning to do, which is quite nice. So I can read that out just in case people who are watching this on catch up haven't done it. In fact, should we start there? Should we start there? So Hannah McKay, who is the principal of the Shiatsu College Manchester branch, says, "Hello, I won't be there this evening, but I thought I'd let you know my plans. I'm doing a project on one thing I love about Shiatsu on Facebook via the Shiatsu College Facebook page. So if you would like to send me a comment about something you love about Shiatsu, please do. Also, if any of your clients or receivers would like to say something, that would also be great. I think Facebook likes it when you post regularly, so I'm planning to try to post every day in June." There's a thought. You can send me an image to go with your words if you like. I also hope to be running an outdoor Shiatsu class taster event if I can get organized. And she has tagged Barbara Shiatsu, Barbara Babs, so it's Barbara Meda, who is in the Manchester area. So there we are. So that's quite nice. And in fact, I did see Hannah's little presentation on Facebook where she's talking about one thing I like about Shiatsu, and I came up with a lovely one-liner the other day when I was out in the garden, and of course it's slightly gone out of my head again, but it will probably come back. Something about giving and receiving Shiatsu puts me more in touch with myself, or something like that. So I think I shall contribute that to Hannah. So anybody got anything else that they're thinking of doing?
My little suggestion, I'm not quite sure if you've read what I was suggesting about our report in the journal, was that even if people are not in a position to do anything else in Shiatsu Awareness Month, maybe they could go onto the website and update their section on the website, because the website is amazing. So if people are not on there, they're missing out a bit.
Well, absolutely, and that's a really good point, Barbara, because Shiatsu Awareness, if we want more people to be aware of Shiatsu, then we need to have more people with their profiles up and more people on the map. Because if I just very quickly put up Shiatsu Society, it says we've got 26 practitioners in Scotland, and I know there are more, 169 in the kind of north and middle of England, and 21 in southwest England. And so that is, oh God, I'm not very good at mental arithmetic, but just under 200. Now we know that we have got 400 plus practitioners. So that means that half of you folks are not there. Now I'm probably speaking to the converted here, because the people who are likely to be watching this on catch up are the ones who are kind of slightly diligent and have got their profiles up. But wouldn't it be good if, on our front page, we could, get the England big total past 200 and, get Scotland and the Southwest up to kind of 20 or 30, 30 or so. That would be much more realistic. So there you are, folks who are listening on catch up. See what you can do. See what you can do. There's lots and lots of help out there. On the website itself, in the last e-news, this kind of thing. There have been, little, if you need help, click here. And Ruth is always willing to help people with their profiles. You just need to send her an email at office@shiatsusociety.org, and then she will talk you through it or give you help or whatever. So it's quite important.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Admin always feels like such hard work. And in the past, the website was so difficult. I mean, in terms you put stuff in and then it would disappear. And now it's much better. So maybe do that.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that all good positive feedback is nice, because I have to say that a lot of work has gone into it. And of course, websites are always tip of the iceberg. You only ever see the visible bit, and you don't see everything else that goes on behind it and so on. But and as we found at last month's meeting, there's loads of stuff on the website that people kind of don't know about. So there we go. So are you planning anything in particular, Dawn, for Shiatsu Awareness Month, or Shiatsu Without Borders?
Well, if the weather is good, because it's always a bit iffy here, maybe an outdoor thing and invite people to do some doing, for an hour.
Great.
Maybe I'll put it on the website and just say who's up for it, and then wait at the meadows and see if anybody turns up. Maybe I could do that.
That would be good, because
Actually.
I mean the meadows in Edinburgh is it's a place that everybody knows. It's a really big kind of park in the middle of Edinburgh. Edinburgh's full of parks anyway, but it's it's a really nice place. So if you say I'm going to be in this corner of the meadows, you have to specify where you're going to be, and then people can just join up. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know about that, and we can publicize it, and we can put it on the Shiatsu Scotland and the North little Facebook, and we can tell our contacts in Edinburgh, because there's quite a few practitioners and senior students in Edinburgh, and they some of them are quite kind of busy. It's just a matter of getting everybody in touch.
Yeah, maybe a Saturday or Sunday. That's a better day, I think, for everybody.
Great. Good idea. Good idea.
We are quite lucky that the Shiatsu Awareness Month is in summer. So we have the longest day, don't we, in Shiatsu Awareness Month. So it is possible to do an evening thing and for it still to be light.
Yes, and of course up north with us, it's lighter for longer. I mean, the middle of the summer, I dare I say, it never gets dark, but there's always a bit of light in the sky, even at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. And of course, there is now it's the 11th of June. There's Shiatsu Day, which is organized by it's not the ESF, but they're joined together with the ESF. It was an Italian group of people, and so they've kind of set the 11th of June as Shiatsu Day or Shiatsu Awareness Day or whatever. But personally, I think I'm going to do something, and it won't be on the 11th because I'm teaching that day. And I want to do a kind of a introduction to Shiatsu. So I'm going to set about doing an introductory day, which is something that we do anyway, but you know, we can make a nice noise about it. And of course, the society has got lots of really nice media things that, if I'm clever in a minute, I will share. And I also thought about having a get together for practitioners. You know, so I'll maybe do that towards the end of the month, and we'll, you know, have an afternoon where we can get together and discuss things shiatsu and do a treatment swap, and, you know, do a little bit of that kind of stuff. Because shiatsu awareness is you know, to the public, but it also should be about us as a community. And quite often I think it's very easy for us to work away in our own little corners and not realize that there are other people, you know, quite close by who are, you know, maybe beavering away as well, and we could all be a bit of, you know, mutual support. I think that would be quite nice. So there we go. If I get really ambitious, I could drop over to Edinburgh as well and say, yay, why don't we have a get together in Edinburgh? But I'm not quite sure when I could do that. However, there we go. Yeah. Yes.
Well, the event that I did for Sustainable Healthcare Day, I did get invited back.
You did?
Yeah, I did. So
Oh, great.
it is now sustainable.
Yay! This is very good. This is very good. Yeah.
So it's very small, and it was because it was in a kind of country park, and Sustainable Healthcare Day was just before the big Easter bank holiday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I was really struggling to work out what was the best time when we actually would be able to be quiet and tune in and, you know, ground ourselves. So the time I chose, a couple of people dropped out because they thought they would get caught in traffic.
Yeah.
So I've tweaked it a little bit, and because we've got the lighter evenings, we can go into the evening, so the children and the dog walkers and hopefully will have gone home by then. But nevertheless, the ranger was very keen to have us back, so that's good. Great.
Excellent.
So I think,
and Hannah, did you say that you had got something organized, or you're just thinking about it?
On this week I organized this shiatsu gathering for practitioners in Surrey.
Right.
So we will meet, and then and the next project, which I hope that I will manage until the end of June, is some kind of workshop in a local care house.
Great. Excellent. Yes. Great. That is very good. Yes, you spoke about trying to get into care homes, didn't you?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so I want to have a go.
Excellent. Yeah.
So I'm putting things together, maybe some leaflet as well, but obviously there will be some introduction for what shiatsu is, some 10 or 15 minutes treatments as I show them what it is, because people don't know.
Yeah.
I know this
Great.
is really good.
Oh,
excellent.
Do you know this?
No, not at all.
It's for older adults.
Oh, okay.
Self-care for older people.
Yeah. So the person you need to speak to about that is Svenja. Svenja Shaper, and she's down in Margate in Kent. There's not, it's not a million miles from you. I'm not sure if they're planning to do another older adults course. We had the older adults course here in Glasgow last year. Was it last year?
Yeah, June 22.
Right, that's right. Yeah. But all of these things that connect up there, they're really good. Great. So getting that into, getting shiatsu into care homes at all. Karin, who was teaching us, and some of us were saying it's actually quite, it's quite challenging to do, but there we are. Yay. Excellent. Excellent. Good. So I wonder what else. Shall I see if I can share my screen and show what we've got in the way of things on the website that are focused around Shiatsu Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Let's see if I
Well,
can.
while you're doing that, I don't know if folk have caught it on the Facebook page, but Joanne Faulkner is doing a session towards the end of the month, just showing you how to use some of the resources that are there.
Yes, yes.
Which you can sign up to. Let me have a look at my.
That's good. It's it's towards the end of May. It must be one of these high energy days, because I noticed that Nick Pole is doing a clean language evening on the same
on the same day. Oh, no.
At the same time. It's just like, oh, what do we do? Yeah. Anyway, but it's
25th of May. Yeah.
It's a Thursday evening.
Yeah.
So so this is on the website. You have to log in into the members area, and it's under members resources, and then you go down to marketing, and then you go down to SAM resources for members. Here we are. So we're collaborating with Shiatsu Without Borders, and then here we are. Let's see if we can bring this one up. There you go. Shiatsu Awareness Month. So here's a thing that you can do, and now let's see if I can go backwards one, or will it all fall apart? Oh no, it won't. Very good. So these are things for Facebook. So that's a nice picture of Charlie. Actually, is one of my assistants with his thumbs nicely stuffed into somebody's shoulders. Which gives a really nice impression of, well, this is it's finger pressure. So these are all kind of socials for Facebook. That's another nice one. It shows somebody sitting up and just a little bit of blurb. So these are things that people can do, and then sources for the run up to. So there we go. So there's a thingy there, and it's coming, so you can, June 2023. And then this is probably the thing that is quite nice for people. Adapt it for yourself, so then you can put in your own details there, and we could maybe ask Barbara how you do that, because I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure that that I know that Barbara spoke with somebody in your family who helped you to do something like that. She's kind of putting your own stuff on. So these are designed to. There you go. That's quite nice, sparkly. So some of them are, they're more, these are sort of social things. Yeah, there we go. And they're the SAM bursary, but that's past its sold up by date now, unfortunately, if people hadn't applied for it. So there's lots that you can, of different sorts that people can take and use for their own purposes, or just just put it out there. Yeah. So there we go. So and that's all on the website. So there are resources that are there, and they get well. Some of those are new for this year, and some of them will have been used last year, and people can just update. In the office, Ruth updates them every year anyway with this year's date on it, so that it's very clear what it's about. So there we are. Yeah. Good. So any other ideas about what people might do? I'm quite inspired by what you were saying, Hannah, about going into a care home. I'm wondering if I should be in touch with, there's a a respite place down in the village where my elderly father used to go when he was still in this world. And I had spoken with them about the samurai for older adults course. And then we had COVID and it didn't happen. But they were very keen. So I might go and offer to go into there and do a little session with the older folks, and they are all people with dementia. And that actually dovetails in, Barbara, with a project that you've kind of got on the go at the moment, isn't it?
Indeed. So but basically what happened was I was busy trying to do some networking, and I was invited to go to it was sort of academic debrief on some of the research that was going on about encouraging older people to be active. So when it was set up, I had already set up some Qigong classes. So I arrived fashionably late, just in time for lunch. And so I was slightly embarrassed about that. And so when I was invited to stay on at the end and do the dementia friend training, I thought maybe I'd better agree. So I stayed to do that, and I was fully expecting not to get anything from it. But what actually happened was what they said. So the dementia friend training is it's really quite short, and the idea is to just raise everybody's awareness of kind of fundamental experiences that people who are living with dementia might have. So it's not technical at all.
Right.
But as we got towards the end, the trainer began to talk about how the changes in the brain are sequenced. And she said, don't ever forget that because the amygdala is the last thing to be affected, that people might not remember anything else, but they will remember how they feel. And at that moment, I thought, but I've just done all this samurai for older people training, and that's precisely about how people feel. So at that point, then I went to find the trainer and to say, you know, what happens if an organization as a whole wants to join up and be part of this training and you know, become dementia friends, if you like. And then it transpired that the Shiatsu Society as an organization could actually promote encouraging their members to become dementia friends. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I think that if we were going to do it remotely, which is to enable everybody to join in, we would have to, then there are some videos for people to watch. And then if you were going into a care home and wanting to offer shiatsu, you would be able to say that you're a dementia friend. And I think that would definitely support members in wanting to go in. But also I immediately just thought, well, you know, here I am, I've suddenly got two completely separate things and I've managed to put them together. So yeah, that's basically what happened. But it was very interesting because I hadn't really thought about it in that light before, but the way that she explained it, that puts us exactly as shiatsu practitioners, that puts us exactly in the center of things.
Right, absolutely. That sounds like that sounds like a really good thing. Now, I know we're probably going to discuss this briefly at our board meeting on Thursday. And then if the board thinks that it's a good strategic thing, because we're talking about strategy on Thursday, if we feel that it's a useful thing for members to be able to do going forwards, then we'll have a look at how to implement that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, they did say that we would have to encourage people to do their own, because it must be the way that they're funded. But for example, it would not be possible for us to put on a support session and to get everybody to log in, because they need to count the numbers of people that they get. But from our point of view, that's probably quite good, because that means that we don't have to expect people to attend at a particular time and date.
Yes, absolutely.
So that probably makes it more accessible for members, not less.
Yes. And it also, in a way, puts the onus on the members, and it's coming from the members rather than us up the top saying, why don't we all do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that fits in with the kind of vision that the board has at the moment, which is that really, we're working for the members on what the members want. We need to know what the members want. If we have found that there is interest in this, then we can give this opportunity, and then the members need to run with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's kind of ground up and horizontal rather than top down.
Yeah. And that kind of ethos of sharing as well, because it's very interesting that on this call, all of us have either done that samurai training or are interested in moving in that direction with working with older people. So that between us all, there's quite a lot that we can offer.
Sure, absolutely. Yes. Great, excellent. Very good. Okay, so any other ideas or inklings that people might have? I think Hannah's idea is quite a nice one about putting together thoughts about how good shiatsu is and what we all get out of it. That's quite a nice kind of reflective experiential thing. So that's I don't know if anybody else has got any other ideas of that sort, or just ways of getting out there. We'll just have to wait and see if people who are watching will come back to us. Please come back to us. Send us ideas. Send them to office@, because if you've got a good idea about something, then we can put it out on our social media, and then that means that everybody gets to share an idea. There's some people may be really good at coming up with projects, and some people not so good. So there we are. Depends on the kind of contacts that you've got.
I love this idea that you just mentioned, dementia to prevent training. I'm very drawn to working with older adults. I'll be more interested to find out. And I hope to also maybe work with some older adults too, because somebody said, oh, they might do a day out with some older folk, and I said, yeah, why not? It hasn't been arranged, but at some point it will happen, I think. Day out, and maybe trees, and touch the trees and be grounded with that, I think quite nice.
Yes.
I did have it. It's funny actually, because the experience that I had came at a quite powerful personal time, but I had an experience of having to hang around in a hospital waiting room for hours and hours with somebody while we were waiting for transport, and they were beginning to get a bit bewildered by everything that was going on. And I had grabbed on my way out of the door some Royal Horticultural Society magazines. So they were full of pictures of plants and trees and flowers and what have you.
Nice.
And that was exactly what they remembered. And they were absorbed for about half an hour looking at these things and talking about the plants and the pictures and everything, which again, then I think, obviously that was at some time in their life a very happy time being grounded in the garden. So with our Eastern medicine hats on, we would understand that in one way, but whatever way you understand it, it was a beautiful, calming experience for somebody in the midst of a very busy hospital. It was really interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Really good. Great. Okay. So I think that kind of, it feels like we've, had quite a few thoughts about what we could do for Shiatsu Awareness Month and so on. I wonder, Barbara, if it's worth, again, asking people present what kind of support they feel that the society can give, and whether these meetings are useful or not. you know, we have a small and select band. We were a small and select band last time. I think the last, you know, we had more on the research one, and we had quite a few more on the advertising one. But, you know, are these meetings a helpful thing? Is the regularity a helpful thing? What kind of things would people like to do here? What kind of other support in general might the society be able to give? You know, and we're not saying, oh, we'll do anything, because we've got to manage our resources. But, you know, having some ideas coming to us from the members, that is really important, because otherwise, you know, we can dream things up. But again, that's kind of top down, you know, well, we think you should, and that's not what we're about at all. So, you know, at the moment, we've got 2 or 3 ideas that members have brought in, and we're going to be, again, talking about those at the board meeting, and so on.
I mean, one or two of the things that have come in, I wouldn't have even thought of, actually. So it's a bit, that could be very specialist, and maybe the appropriate way to deal with that is to just go back to the person who gave the inquiry. But then what we don't know is whether there are other people with sort of burning questions or things that might be helpful to everybody that we don't know about, so can't respond to.
Yes. Well, the one that I found quite interesting, which came from somebody down in Bristol way-ish, was about the question of clinical wills.
Yes, that was what I was referring to. I was like, whoa.
And I thought, clinical, what is this? And it's actually what, you know, if you were to become very ill or even die, what do you want to happen to your clients? How are they going to be informed? And, you know, who would you pass them on to? You know, have you got any mechanisms or processes in mind for example, if you've been supporting somebody for a long time, passing their case notes on to somebody else, a trusted colleague? You know, is this something that you would need to discuss it with clients beforehand and say, look, I'm doing this, are you happy with? But it's a whole subject that hadn't really occurred to me before.
No, it hadn't occurred to me either.
Although, you know, it's a little poignant that we have had, you know, 2 bereavements within the Shiatsu community within the last couple of months, and it's just like, so, you know, what happens to those people's clients? And you know, I have no idea, because you know, that's nothing to do with me, but it's just like as a topic, to be honest, it hadn't occurred to me, you know, and perhaps that is an enormous failing upon my part, but it hasn't. That's just because I'm an optimist and I'm gonna, you know, be giving shiatsu when I'm 90.
In your care home.
No, I'm not going to have a care home. I've been assured by my daughter I'm going to have a gold-plated granny flat. And every time I do something lovely, it becomes even more gold-plated. Yeah,
I'm afraid it's the bell ringers tonight next door. So my screen thinks I'm playing music.
Oh, that's nice. I can't hear anything, but never
mind.
mind.
Okay, that's all right then.
I'll start listening now. So yeah, so you know, so that's something that's kind of in the melting pot at the moment. But you know, are there any other sort of topics or areas, or you know, things where you, Hannah and Dawn, maybe think that the society could, you know, look at something or provide something? And you don't have to come up with anything, but it's, you know, we are here, you know, our motto, our vision says, you know, our aim is to serve Shiatsu and our members. And sometimes when you're serving, you need to know what people want.
Just what you mentioned before, Elaine, was like face-to-face gatherings sometimes, to just to meet other people and to know you're not alone, really. in this
Okay.
place doing shiatsu. It can feel quite, you don't know who else is there.
Yes. Yes. Well, absolutely.
I do meet up with people in Edinburgh that once a month. I mean, we started again since lockdown. We do that kind of, themes, what kind of treatments do you want to look at, and techniques. It's been really nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Swaps, so.
Yes. Well, that's good, and it's kind of widening that, isn't it, to make sure that other people within that area know that it's going on, and sometimes it's quite hard to know who is where and what everybody's doing. So, yeah, okay. So we'll see if we could do something to facilitate that.
I wonder if people are registered and therefore they're on the website in whatever capacity, then we know it would be possible almost to sort of in the office compile a list of who's close to who.
Yeah.
So that I mean, just obviously we want people to manage it for themselves, but it would actually be possible to know for each geographical area who's there. So if people got in touch and asked, then we could let them know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes. Yeah. And also people in a wider area, just kind of thinking about, Edinburgh and around about there, that, we know that there are several people in Fife, which is over the bridge, over the water, and if we were to have a get together, then maybe say, well, why don't we invite the kind of 3 or 4 practitioners that are in Fife and see if they would come along.
Yeah.
Thought.
Yeah.
And then, so Hannah, you're in Surrey, but, maybe people in kind of the other home counties might be, although you're probably in touch with them anyway, but, sometimes it's nice to kind of, see if you could meet up with others. I don't know. I know it's been quite hard for you to kind of motivate people and get them together.
It's actually demotivating. Sometimes I feel that you do a lot, but people are not interested. So it pull you down because you write email, some people answer, but I have in my email list, let's say 25 people. Only 5 members are active really, and up to meetings, gatherings, or anything really. So we usually meet I don't know, same faces.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how to inspire the rest.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Interesting.
But I understand that people have their lives and they are busy. Yeah. So it's not always.
And I guess maybe that's the thing, if people are very busy, then this form of support maybe isn't what they're needing, and they would need something else.
Yes, exactly. So
but then people have to ask, because you do lots of work trying to get people together and meeting, but if people want other things, then they have to say.
Yeah.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because the kind of motherly aspect of me wants to say, well, value of people physically meeting and having the opportunity to get some shiatsu from each other is so important, and maybe that it should be an essential part of your CPD. But that's only the bossy motherly bit of me.
Yes.
Because people do also have to have some responsibility for themselves, don't they?
Yes. And at this point, I put on my Scottish hat and say, "But what about our man on Sky?"
Well, I'd be
You know.
very happy to go and see him. Any excuse.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who we've got on Sky. At one point, we did have a lady practitioner on Sky, and we had a couple of people on Lewis and Harris, which is even further out.
Even further, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so I'd expect them
I
to.
know, but in a way they need, you know, because they are so isolated, it becomes even more important, doesn't
Well,
it? But
yes.
how you affect that, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is where the wonderful Zoom thing comes in, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you know, that we can, you know, we can do stuff and you know, and make contact with each other, and even gosh, I found during lockdown doing online tutorials, I was actually able to observe and pick up lots and lots energetically on Zoom, and then give people feedback. I know it's in a teaching context rather than a kind of a sharing context, but you know, there's all sorts of possibilities. So there we go.
And you know what would be quite nice for these meetings? Maybe if sometimes people said, hey, yeah, let's do this exercise together. So we're not just sitting and watching,
Right.
we're doing like
Okay.
something, or
Yeah.
well, it depends on who turns up. And
Yeah.
somebody could have an idea for like 10-15 minutes. And we rotate, so it's not like huge pressure on one person for a whole half hour.
That's
So
a really good
we're
idea.
moving.
That would be lovely, actually, if people bring along things to share that we can all learn from. That'd be fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's not, you know, I mean, we've created the space, but the space belongs to the members. So, you know, I would be very keen on members bringing things to share with us rather than us putting on things for people to join in, if you see what I mean.
Yes, absolutely, because you know, in a way, there's lots of that kind of
Yes.
teaching formats, you know,
Yeah.
online. There's any number of people who teach online, but sometimes it's really nice to share something new that you've just learned, or share something that you've been doing for a long time and find very helpful. Yay.
I mean, these discussions are so helpful too, because we've now got ideas of what everyone's trying to do or wants to do, wishes to do. Then the
Yes.
exercise can be an alternate thing, you know, not every month, but
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Good.
and
Great
Hannah,
idea.
I was
Thank
going
you.
to say, Hannah, I know some people in Surrey, I don't know if you know them, one in Croydon and one somewhere deeper in Surrey. Maybe they
Oh,
meet up
well,
with you at some point.
maybe the pair of you can get together and have a chat about it, or
Message you.
no, I know that you both have your profiles up on the website, which means that you can find each other and send each other emails. Which is, that's one of the things that I have sometimes found so frustrating. It's just like, oh, there's that practitioner and they're in such and such a place. I don't have their, you know, their phone number or their email. I'll just look on the website, and then it just says Fred Blogs has been a member since 1992, and it's just like, well, fine, but now I've got to go and speak nicely to Ruth and stuff like that, you know. And it would be so much easier for networking if everybody was up there, and then you could just go straight in.
I do get lots of messages from people from overseas asking me about restaurants in Edinburgh.
Really?
I'm a foodie, so they know.
Well, there we go.
Friends visiting, they're like, hey, where's a good place to eat? I'm like, oh yeah, this place.
All
I
right.
even had somebody from New York. She came to stay with me last year for a week.
Right.
She'd seen me on a Zoom call.
Oh, very good. Well, I shall be in touch. I'm coming over to Edinburgh in May for a concert.
Me too.
Yay. Great. Oh, well, there we are. The things that we share on Shiatsu Support. Who to go to for a good restaurant in Edinburgh. Sure. Absolutely. Very good. Right. Well, are we wrapped up? Do we have more we want to speak about?
What are we thinking? We've lapsed into silence.
Well, in that case, maybe we just finish recording and then say night night. What do you think, folks? Yes, pause, stop recording. Okay, so for those of you who are watching it afterwards, bye-bye. Be in touch, please, please. Are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure.